Somebody come leave. We out here picking some greens. I can tell you these greens is about ready here, especially for the roots are not big enough yet. But for the green part, it should be nice and tender. So we can do the messy turnip greens and have a good dinner. 100 farms. Later on, the greens will be getting bigger, and the roots are getting bigger. So we can sell them as the roots too, but right now, we just want to mess with greens for ourselves. And hopefully we'll be bringing some of these up to Atlanta, to your supermarket, in just about a week and a half. You got something to eat, family? Praise be to Allah. Family. Now, of course, when we bring the turnip, the roots out of the field, they're going to help some dirt on it. So, who do you think cleans this? Somebody has to do it. The social man ain't going to do it. The housewives don't want to do it. So the farmer got to do it. So this is another step. Then you got to rinse them off. Then let them dry down. And then you can put them in a box. All this is cost that the farmer must absorb. Assalamu alaikum, family. Assalamu alaikum, family. Okay, I'm going to take you into Dr. Ridgely's world. I'm an agricultural economist, but I was taught a lot of things, but they didn't teach me what I'm getting ready to teach you. It took me years of looking behind the curtain on economic theory and government policy and what's going on with the black farmers to show you a war that has been going on secretly against the black farmer since the 1900s, when they found out, the early 1900s, when they found out that we own 16 million acres of land. They've been working to decrease the value of production, agriculture, to decrease the value of the land so the black folks would have to give up the land. And I'm going to show you how they did it. Okay, this is very important because we got to figure out a way out of this trick, because this trick is death itself. They intend and are poisoning us through the food system. So let's look at the transition from the way it was in the early 1900s to the way it is today. And this comes from our book, The Science and Business of Farming versus Art and Hobby of Gardening. And on page 46, called it Farm Transition into Input-Dependent System. Okay? Now, back in the early 1900s, 1800s, early 1900s, here's your farm, and the farm produced food and it sold it to the consumer. Okay, let's say $15 to the consumer. Then the money came back to the farmer. Then the farmer had to spend a little bit of money for equipment repairs, but he had horses, he had human labor for the work, he had the sun, the air, the rain for the crops. So he put production here, sell it to the consumer directly, and then the money comes back to him and his family. But this is transition. Now the sun and the air and the rain is still the same, but here's the farm. But now the farmer has to, not only equipment, but he has to purchase fertilizer, seed, petroleum, and chemicals, get a loan to be able to produce. Then he sells it not directly to the consumer, but to a processor, processing, transportation, storage, wholesale, retail, restaurants. So then the money comes from the $15 from the consumer, it goes to all these other people, then it goes to the farmer, then the farmer got to pay all this out the backside. So now out of that $15, the farmer has $1, where he had $14 in the early 1900s. What has happened is systematically these inputs, all these inputs supposedly increased production, but it also increased costs. And if the return or the money for the crop don't increase along with the increased cost of production, then you're just spinning your wheels and you're feeding everybody except yourself as a farmer. You'll become a slave to the system. And let's show you the example right here from the book in terms of what has happened. Here is the price of corn. This is from 1969 to 1997. This is the price of corn right here. See, it's flatline. But look at all these other inputs. Your labor input, your fertilizer input, your chemical input. All these is going up. See these here? They're going up. All these other inputs are going up. But the price of farmer receives at the price of corn has not changed. So what's going on right here is that's loss to the farmer. Its profitability is being reduced over time. And so what did the government of the United States do? They came up with this idea of using this process to eliminate certain sectors of the farm population, in particular the black farmers. So they come out in 1962 with an adaptive approach. The Committee for Economic Development came out with what's called an adaptive approach of how they're going to the net migration out of agriculture has been going on for 40 years and at a rapid rate, but nevertheless, the movement of people from agriculture has not been fast enough. So this adaptive approach recommended that one, vocational agriculture courses in rural areas be scrapped. Farm children be given college scholarships to study anything but agriculture. This is wicked, y'all. But here's what we're going to talk about today. Agriculture prices be substantially lower, and temporary income programs be instituted to protect the most suited for survival. Well, I thought this was a so-called free economy. What did it mean that they're going to agricultural prices be substantially lower? How would you do that in a free economy? This ain't a free economy. This is a planned economy. They talk about Russia. They've been doing this all along, but it make us think, oh, just the supply and demand, it's just the market. No, it's all a trick. And who are these farmers suited for survival? Your guess is as good as mine. I hope you guess the right thing. Of course, the ones who are suited for survival were not the black farmers, but the white farmers. So let's show you this in a very simple checkers manner of cost and returns, and of how this game has been played. Over here, you have the black farmers and you have the white farmers. Okay, and now you have the U.S. Department of Agriculture, which is your tax money, and the input suppliers. Input costs are red, and of course money is green. Now, back in the early 1900s, let's look at the white farmer, the black farmer, on basically even keel. You got your costs of production, and then you got your returns, and there's profitability in there. But over time, let's say you increase the white farmer's cost by a little bit, you increase the black farmer's cost by a little bit. Okay, everything's cool. But what happens, you increase, now you come, here's the government, and the costs go up. Oh my God, the white farmers are going out of business. Costs go up. Okay, well, the black farmers are going out of business too, but that's okay. What we'll do is with your government tax money, we'll give a white farmer a subsidy. Okay, but we don't get a black farmer subsidy. But next thing you know, the costs go up to the black farmer, and the price go up to the white farmer, but the government steps in and gives the white farmer some more. So after a while, the black farmer keeps going in the red because he don't get no increased prices because they're controlling the prices, and the white farmer, he's giving subsidy on what he sells in the market. Then the government comes in with your tax money and gives the white farmer more money so he can survive. So what happens is, of course, eventually the black farmer goes out of business and the white farmer takes over all his chips over here on his side, and the black farmer, his land is attached to his land and he is out of business. But the costs continue to go up on the white farmer's old land and the white farmer's new land, but guess what? The government comes in and give him some money on both sides. So the costs go up again, and now the government still gives money to the white farmer for the white farmer to be productive. And that's just how, that's the system. That's how the black farmers wind up with no land, and the white farmers get the land, and the government subsidizes the white farmers, putting the black farmers out of business. And then, of course, what happens with the input suppliers, the money that the white farmers get, that becomes chips for the industry, for the input industry, because they are supplying the input. So now the government got to go and replenish that. So the government comes in to replenish that to keep the white farmers going. Okay? In the meantime, the input suppliers, they're taking that money, putting it in their coffers. Now what happens when the government no longer is willing to subsidize the farmers, white farmers? Let's suppose that because of these different problems with the floods, earthquakes, fires, that now the government has to find some money to rebuild. Well, it's not going to take the money from the Defense Department, so it can take it from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So now the U.S. Department of Agriculture don't have no more chips. Okay? Let's say they don't have no more chips to play with. Well, guess what? The costs are still going to go up. Okay? But ain't no more new chips. Costs will still go up. What's going to happen? The white farmer is going to be in the red. He going to have to sell out. He going to quit. He ain't going to produce if he don't have these subsidies to handle these costs. He's looking at the mathematics and said, I'm out of here. So he sell all his land and go to the beach somewhere. This is what's about to happen. It's going on right here in southwest Georgia. The old white farmers are dying out. The children are not farming. They're selling the land. They're getting out. We can get the land right now, but we're going to have to be able to pay the farmer a decent price so that the farmers' prices can keep up with costs. We can't stop cheating the farmer out of his due and pay the farmer what he needs to operate so that he can stay in business. And we need to cut down on some of these inputs by going to more sustainable systems instead of this input dependent system. We need to be able to have more productivity of the labor, and particularly the energy needs to be produced on farm. Either he can go back the way he did in Cuba, go back to using a mule or using an oxen. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to continue to feed these people right here, the input suppliers. We're not going to be able to continue to feed them people and feed ourselves. So thank you very much, family. May Allah bless all of us. Assalamu alaikum.